The CoMMpass repository and the information that's being derived from it is an incredible tool for data mining for pharmaceutical companies to look at for clues to how drugs might help where they're not helping already in multiple myeloma. At my company, at Bristol Myers Squibb, we are focusing on the immunotherapy of cancer. In multiple myeloma, in the initial few patients in which our nivolumab drug was being studied was actually ineffective. But recent data suggests that myeloma may be equal or more efficaciously treated with an anti-PD-1 drug, an immunotherapy, given in combination with other drugs. So this has provided a really great sense of excitement for myeloma physicians in knowing that immunotherapies are probably just around the corner. And the CoMMpass database of 1,000 patients with multiple myeloma, including their cells, the DNA and the RNA, enables us to take a snapshot of these tumors to figure out which ones might respond to immunotherapy better than others. And that's what we're doing now to look at this enormously valuable data set that CoMMpass has built. If you build it, they will come. And so pharma is going to come to look at this data set as well as academics to mine the data to see what might be a great approach for immunotherapy in myeloma. So how can we use the information from CoMMpass to try to identify patients that might benefit the most from immunotherapy is a great question. Until now, for myeloma, we have focused on the tumor cell and the genetic changes in that tumor cell that might dictate what kinds of drugs might be helpful for those patients. So a real tumor-centric focus for cancer therapy. But now we know we have to treat the whole patient. We have to treat the host to get the host to respond better to the tumor, to eliminate it. And we know that this battle is ongoing, and we just need to give the host a little bit of a boost. And so we'd like to take advantage of those patients who already have effective, not nearly effective, almost effective immune responses to their tumor and get them over the hump and get those patients to then eradicate the tumors. And so we can look at the CoMMpass database to look to see, well, which of these patients seem to have an ongoing, robust immune response that we can help the soonest. The CoMMpass data has already been helpful in identifying a subgroup of patients, maybe 5% of the patients, who have extremely high levels of mutation throughout their genome. And these mutations scattered through the genome produce what we call antigens. They make these tumors different from self. And the differences make them recognizable by the immune response. So in fact, these are the first potentially low-hanging fruits for immunotherapies, the patients with the most mutational loads that might respond better to our immunotherapies. Yes, it is an amazing time for myeloma. In the last year, 2 new antibody therapeutics were introduced for the treatment of myeloma. You know, for lymphoma, there's been an antibody called rituximab that's been available and very effective for patients with lymphoma for more than 10 years. And the field has been waiting for the antibody to appear to help patients with myeloma. And this past year, 2 were approved, including Implicity from Bristol Myers Squibb. And this offers a new treatment modality for these patients. These antibodies work by directly killing the tumor cell by enlisting immune effector cells to kill them. The other approach that's being pursued by many pharmaceutical companies, including Bristol Myers Squibb, is to enhance the ability of the T-cell compartment to kill these tumor cells. And these 2 different modalities might actually work together quite nicely. So one of the early approaches we're going to try to take to see whether we can increase the number of patients that can respond to these T-cell therapies is to combine Implicity with a T-cell directed drug, and hope that that will improve the number of patients achieving deep, durable responses. So we're excited about these times in immunotherapy for myeloma, because beyond Implicity, there are other approaches that are not in the too distant future. They'll be tested in the next few months to years to dissect which of the combinations will be more and more effective.